Students, today we can study the important peninsular rivers. We have some ideas about Himalayan rivers and their importance, and the major Himalayan rivers are the river Indus, the river Ganga and the river Brahmaputra. And we know the longest one is river Ganga, and the river having huge amount of water is in Brahmaputra, etc. Today we can continue and also can learn the most important peninsular rivers and their features. Mostly, majority of the peninsular rivers are originating either from the Vindhya Satpura mountain ranges in the central India or from the Western Ghat in the southwest part of India. So, many of them are east flowing rivers starting in the Western Ghat and flowing through many of the states and joining with the Bay of Bengal. Two important rivers are flowing as westward. They are river Narmada and river Tabi. They are the most largest one among all others. Other than these two, some more west flowing rivers also are there. And we know that compared to Himalayan rivers, peninsular rivers are shorter and also carries less volume of water compared to Himalayan rivers. And lots of deltas are also forming by the east flowing peninsular rivers while they are joining with the Bay of Bengal. And the west flowing rivers of peninsular rivers are making estuaries. Estuaries are places where the river meets or joins with the sea or the ocean, where tides will be joined with the river water. So, most beautiful sceneries are there in South India or in the peninsular area of India. Let us study one by one. We know that river Narmada and Tabi are the two important west flowing peninsular rivers. Both of them are originating in the Madhya Pradesh as a part of this Vindhya Satpura mountain ranges, and river Narmada origin from the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh and also flows through a rift valley and joining in the Arabian Sea. Only two important states are there as its river basin. Compared to river Tabi, Narmada is the larger west flowing peninsular river, but it all covers or having its basin from Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat alone. Then it is joining with the Arabian Sea. And on the way, a lot of different most beautiful sceneries just like the Marble Rock area where it is flowing through a rift valley. Rift valley means a kind of geographical area making or forming due to the movement of the tectonic plates. A small cracks or gap will be there. Through that gap, the river Narmada is flowing, and it also joins with the river Arabian Sea. River Tabi also it starts from Madhya Pradesh, and the exact place is Betul district in Madhya Pradesh as a part of Satpura mountain ranges, and it flows parallel to river Narmada, but it is shorter than river Narmada. So, as both of them have a west flowing movement, the tributaries of both of these rivers are so shorter and carries very less water, because both of them have a small area or a small longitude coverage and also joins with the Arabian Sea. And the river Tabi has three important states as its drainage basin: Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Then joins with the Arabian Sea. So, river Narmada and Tabi are the two important peninsular west flowing rivers. Other than these two, river Periyar, river Bharatapuzha, etc. also are west flowing peninsular rivers. Sabarmati river in Gujarat, Mahi river in Kerala, etc. also are examples for west flowing peninsular rivers. Among the east flowing peninsular rivers, Godavari is the largest one, and that is why this also has another term called Godavari river is also known as Dakshin Ganga. That means the Ganga river for South India. Such a length is there for river Godavari in the southern part of India, and the full area of that Godavari is passing through India itself. and 1500 kilometers of length is therefore river Godavari, and it also has the largest drainage basin for peninsular rivers too, and it covers around areas of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, then Odisha or Andhra Pradesh, etc. are the places through which the drainage basin of Godavari spread across, and among them 50% of the river basin of Godavari is in Maharashtra state itself, and the remaining portions are there passing through Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, and it has large numbers of tributaries also, just like Pranhida, Purna, Varda, Vainganga, Manjra and Penganga. Some of them are a little bit larger rivers too. That's why, due to its peninsular area where it also has its own basin and the length of the river together, it is considering as the Dakshin Ganga. River Godavari is rising from Western Ghat, from the areas of Madhya Pradesh, and it is passing through all the states and joining with the Bay of Bengal. That's why it is known as the longest or the largest peninsular river. River Mahanadi is originating from Chhattisgarh, and its river basins are covering the areas just like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, and joining with the Bay of Bengal. 860 kilometers of length is there for this one. It one also is a east flowing peninsular river. River Krishna also originating from Western Ghat itself, and the exact place is Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra state, and it also has its east flowing direction and also joins with the Bay of Bengal. It is one of the smallest river also. 1400 kilometers of length is there for river Krishna, and majority of its tributaries are a place where loads of hydroelectricity or hydel projects are there. Just like the common and also the familiar tributaries of river Krishna are the Tungabhadra, the Koyna, the Gandprabha, the Musi or Bhima, etc. Tungabhadra, Koyna, etc. are very important and also specialized for construction of hydroelectricity. So it also covers the drainage areas just like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, etc. River Kaveri rising from the Brahmagiri peak of Western Ghat, and it is passing through Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and joining with the Bay of Bengal. And what is the importance of this river Kaveri is that some of its tributaries are flowing through Kerala also, just like Kabini, Bhavani, etc. We know Kabini and Bhavani are the two important east flowing rivers of Kerala. So these two rivers are joining with the river Kaveri and going to Bay of Bengal. And many of this area, that means in this Kaveri river also has lots of different type of beautiful sceneries, especially waterfalls also are there. Along with the Kabini and Bhavani, Hemavati, Vaidarini, etc. are the other important tributaries of river Kaveri. So, other than this river Kaveri, Krishna, Mahanadi, Godavari, etc., lots of other important South Indian rivers also are there. Just like our Suvarnareka in the north part, that is passing or helpful for our important industrial location that is located in the West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand localities, and just like Damodar river that passing through the Bengal, and many other such important rivers also are there. All these rivers and the other water bodies just like lakes, etc. plays a great role for a nation's economy. Mainly, they are helpful for giving a amount of water supply for improving our agricultural system, because the half of our population or more than half of India's population is still based on or basing on or depending on agriculture. So all these rivers are one of the most important contributor to develop our agricultural pattern and also makes the soil so fertile. And many of these rivers are an area or a source of generating electricity. Many of our towns or localities, especially the industrial locations or factories, etc., are supporting or supplying electricity from this hydroelectric project. And not only that, it also attracts people from the different part of world, as it is a tourist location where lots of different type of entertainment areas or entertainment projects also are located. So rivers or lakes or all other type of water bodies came under category of drainage is very much important for a nation's economy and also helpful for the development of people and their different type of employment opportunities. So being a part of our nation, as water is essential for human and all other type of living being, it is the duty of we people, as it is our responsibility to protect the available water resources of any kind. Is it fresh water or water, it doesn't matter, as it is essential for every type of our developmental activities. It's like domestic activities or industrial purposes or for everything. It is very important. So its proper management is our own responsibility. So being a citizen also has its own or our own ideas about the aware bothered people about our responsibilities and duties. We must take care of the protection and also the good health of water and water resources. So the lesson drainage is came to an end here. We can study one another chapter in the coming videos. So let us meet in the next videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.